Okay, so before we get into this video, I need to give a bad vlogger alert, and that is the fact that I completed a whole intro, sit down, and then overview of everything I bought from both Woolworths and Aldi for our family for the week, and look back at all the footage and discovered my camera is broken and you can barely hear anything I'm saying. Obviously, I ended up scrapping this intro section, and I'm just giving you a little word of warning here, but unfortunately it was kind of a bit too hard for me to get rid of the grocery shop overview and haul, and I tried to maximize the volume and the sound clarity as much as I could, so I hope that it is still acceptable and worthwhile and gives you guys a bit of a picture of what we typically buy in a week. We are trying to be more frugal and mindful with our money. We are also trying to eat healthier, taking advantage of meal prepping to particularly organize our breakfast, lunch and snacks, and that is what I'm going to show you in this video, so I hope that you enjoy. This is our $230 weekly grocery shop from both Aldi and Woolies. I do generally try and get the shop under $200, but not pictured here is our bag of dog crunchies, which is almost 20 bucks just in itself, so that definitely pushed things over, and we got a lot. So just to give you a quick overview, we've got 2 loaves of bread, 3 things of eggs, which honestly we will go through a lot of those, and just in those 3 things of eggs, that's almost 20 bucks there. We've got 2 rolls of dog food, a heap of these little custard and oatmeal packs for Hunter. In terms of meat, we only got some mince, and then also from Woolies a barbecue chook, as well as just some sliced ham and some chorizo, and we'll use the chorizo and then also some bacon for our breakfast wraps. We've got our wraps up here. We've got sliced cheese, ricotta, Greek style yogurt, frozen mixed vegetables. We've got these little brown rice crackers, which Hunter absolutely loves. A heap of sort of condiment things. We've got mango chutney, tuna bake, honey, mayonnaise, 2 things of tuna, 2 big milks there, and also an almond milk, which we just like to have as a backup. Some chocolate chip cookies, which Dave snuck in, 2 things of pasta. We've got black chia seeds, cranberries, lasagna sheets, and then from Woolies I also picked up this spirulina powder to chuck into some smoothies. And then in terms of fresh produce, I've got a big bag of potatoes, a heap of bananas, a bag of carrots, green apples, lettuce, celery, and then our fruit for the week, or some random tomatoes, but we've also got mandarins, blueberries, and 2 punnets of strawberries. So that is our weekly haul. A lot of these things are pretty much staples for the week, and obviously we grabbed some extra bits and pieces, so it's definitely more than a week's worth of food, but hopefully with all this stuff we shouldn't need to go back to the shop throughout the week to pick up any extra little bits and pieces. Now that I've meticulously set up all of my groceries on the kitchen bench to show you, it is time to actually put them away. I always wash my fresh fruit and veg straight away. I used to use the vegetable wash from Koala Eco and I really like that. I just purchased it on Amazon, but I'm sure you can get it from a number of other places. But I did run out of it, so today I'm just using bicarb and some cold water and letting all of these soak in the sink for a little bit, and then I'll just set them up on the little towel next to the sink before putting them all away. And of course, any cozy cooking or baking day is not complete without a fresh cup of coffee. Dave is going to get started with our first snack of the day, and that is ham and cheese danishes. These are a weekly staple for us and are so simple and easy to make. We get a piece of puff pastry, cut it into squares, paint it with egg, and then layer on your cheese slices and ham slices and fold it into these little Danish shapes. Whack them in the oven for about 15-ish minutes, turning if needed, and they are so delicious, easy, and good to go. Our next snack has been a new one in our weekly routine, but it is so yummy, and it is these protein banana muffins. It just has banana, egg, peanut butter, baking powder, and well, that's pretty much it. But Dave has also been adding in Milo as well for a bit of a chocolatey flavor. Whack those in a baking tin, pop them in the oven, and they are good to go. The other side of the kitchen, I'm going to get started on my lunch/snack of the week, and that is my Nordic seed and nut bread. I've made this a few times here on this channel and even linked a recipe for it down in the description, and I'll do that in this video as well. I am slightly adapting it this time. I am not being very strategic when it comes to measurements of things, and I'm also going to add in some dates and cranberries for a little bit of a sweet flavor, because I do have a sweet tooth, and sometimes at nighttime I am looking for a bit of a sweet snack, which this one is fantastic for because it's also just super healthy and laden with like healthy fats and proteins. So it's a great one to put in your weekly routine. The only thing is it takes up a lot of eggs. So we bought those 3 dozen eggs this week, and honestly, we've gone through them a lot quicker than I thought we would. Another little lunchtime treat I'm going to whip up is these yogurt parfaits. I'm doing them for myself, Dave, and Hunter. We just have some plain Greek yogurt. We were getting the Greek yogurt with honey, which was fantastic, but then our Aldi has stopped putting that on the shelves recently for some reason. So this one's just plain, and we're going to add in some honey for a bit of sweetness, and laying it with a paleo mix, some blueberries, some strawberries or banana, and just having that as a yummy little morning tea snack. Do have this collection of 6 glass jars that I picked up from Kmart, and that was such a good buy because we've been using them every single week. 2 are currently in use / in the wash, so I only have 4, which means that I will need to midweek make up another batch of this yogurt for us, and same for Hunter, but that is fine. Would potentially even be worthwhile me buying another collection of these 6 jars, because we also use them to meal prep some smoothies as well, which you'll see later on. It is later on in the evening now, and Dave is going to be prepping some breakfast wraps and sandwiches for us, whipping up some more eggs, and then cooking some bacon and chorizo as well. We've got a bunch of just wholemeal large wraps, and then for our sandwiches we will have tuna and lettuce and cheese, and then midweek we'll need to make another round of sandwiches as well, and this time we will change it up and have some curried egg and lettuce. Both of those are very yummy and good sources of protein. I don't know about you guys, but for me, lunch is one of those meals where I do have a tendency to skip during the day or just not eat enough because I'm so busy either doing chores or catching up on work or just hanging out with Hunter and tending to his needs that oftentimes I forget to remember about my own. And I know Dave is the same. He does a lot of driving for work, so it's important that he has his meals packed, prepped, ready to go so that he doesn't resort to either not eating at all or choosing unhealthy options. We do our groceries on a Sunday, so tonight is a Sunday night, and I forgot to get a picture of it, but we did end up just having leftovers for dinner tonight. On Saturday night, I whipped up a big selection of spinach and sun-dried tomato pasta. It's definitely a staple in our weekly meal routine, and it's so great because it lasts us either 2 nights dinners or a dinner and lunch the next day. And then on Monday, I started digging into some of the things that we meal prepped the night before, my seed bread and my sandwiches, and that night for dinner we had chicken, veggies and gravy. One of the things that I've been loving doing is buying a barbecue chook and actually making it last 3 meals, which you will see today and the next day. So being that it is now Tuesday, I'm going to whip up another lot of our smoothies, eat some of the meal prepped meals, and then use the chicken again tonight for dinner to make a Caesar salad. And then on Wednesday, I'm going to use the final lot of chicken and chuck that in with some stock, a whole heap of veggies, and then also some mee goreng noodles and make a yummy chicken noodle soup. And we have been loving using our soups. Sometimes if we don't buy a barbecue chook, we will buy a whole pork leg, and then on that 3rd night of the pork, that will be used in the soup as well. And that's especially yummy because the pork is nice and salty, so it just adds a heap of extra flavor in the soup. Throughout the week, I whipped up some more smoothies and I also baked some bread. Sadly, my first loaf was an epic fail, but for my second loaf, I used a completely new recipe, and actually it was the best bread that I have ever made. On Friday night, Dave, Hunter and I went around to my parents' house for dinner, which was lovely. My sister and her boyfriend were down and we had the fire going and had dinner together and watched the football, so it was a lovely family evening. Following Sunday's shop was only $200, which is a much better price, and we still have some things left over from the week before. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with me as we meal prep for the week and go through some of our tasty treats that we whip up each day. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe down below. I upload new videos every single week. With that being said, I hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye guys.